HOA Karen has always fancied herself the neighborhood enforcer, but the day she tried her so-called master key on my front door, she met a lesson she wasn't ready for, delivered by my 16-year-old son. It all started one afternoon when I was out running errands. My son, Jake, was home alone, finishing up homework and keeping an eye on our property like he always does. That's when he noticed Karen lingering suspiciously near the front porch, fiddling with what looked like a set of keys. She tried the door handle first, then the lock, and finally, with a smug grin, produced her infamous HOA master key. Jake, always cautious but bold, didn't hesitate. He stepped onto the porch, crossed his arms, and called out, "Can I help you, Mrs. Karen?" Karen jumped, caught mid-action. Just checking the property. Routine inspection." Jake raised an eyebrow. "You mean the property I live in? The property that my dad owns? You don't have a key, so step back." Karen laughed nervously, brushing off her failed attempt. "Oh, come on. It's just a formality. HOA rights and all that." Jake's expression hardened. He grabbed his phone and calmly said, "I'm calling Dad and the police because someone is trying to break into my house." Karen's smile faltered. She fumbled for words, realizing that this wasn't a casual warning she could dismiss. Before she could retreat, Jake had already sent me a video call showing exactly what she was doing. I saw it in real time. Karen trying to justify her intrusion while Jake stood firm, recording the evidence. Within minutes, I was on the phone with the local sheriff's office, explaining the situation and confirming that she had no legal authority to enter our home. The deputies were polite but direct. Trespassing and unlawful entry attempts were criminal offenses. Karen's face turned from smug to pale as the gravity of her actions sank in. When the deputies arrived, Karen tried to claim she was performing routine HOA duties. The officers were unimpressed. They pointed to the video evidence Jake had captured and firmly told her that she was not allowed to enter anyone's home without explicit permission or risk arrest. Karen sputtered, tried to argue, and even suggested she could fix things later. The officers weren't buying it. Jake, standing tall beside me as I arrived, couldn't help but smirk. He had handled the situation perfectly. Calm, confident, and fully within the law. Neighbors, who had gathered out of curiosity, watched as Karen's authority completely evaporated. The woman who had always acted untouchable was now embarrassed in front of the entire block. The HOA didn't back her up either. Once they saw the video and heard the deputy's report, they sent a formal reprimand, making it clear that no homeowner's rights could be violated under any circumstances. Karen tried to save face, but it was too late. Her master key stunt had not only failed, it had cemented her reputation as the HOA overreacher who couldn't even enter a home legally. By the end of the day, Karen had slinked back to her own property, humiliated and powerless. Jake had saved the day with nothing more than quick thinking, courage, and a phone camera. I made a point to thank him, reminding him that standing up for what's yours is always worth it. From that day forward, Karen never so much as approached our door. The incident became a story the neighbors would retell, a cautionary tale about assuming authority where none exists. And my son? He earned the unofficial title of neighborhood guardian, proving that even the smallest members of a household can have the biggest impact when it comes to protecting family and property.